In the dawn of time, when the world was young and the oceans still held fathomless secrets, a tempestuous storm materialized. A deluge unlike any witnessed before threatened to consume all life under the heavens. Countless tales reverberate with the echoes of this cataclysm. But what if this is not merely a legend? What if science and faith are on the precipice of unveiling a truth long forgotten by the sands of time? Prepare to immerse yourself in humanity's greatest enigma, the Great Flood. The account of the Great Flood stands as one of the most compelling and controversial narratives to have resonated through the ages. First recounted in the book of Genesis, this saga describes a cataclysmic deluge capable of obliterating nearly all life on Earth, sparing only Noah, his kin, and the animals he sheltered aboard an immense vessel. For many, it remains an ancient myth, a legend of a distant past. For others, it holds the weight of undeniable historical truth. Yet what transpires when we juxtapose this story against the lens of modern science? Does empirical evidence corroborate the magnitude of this event? Or is it merely a metaphorical tapestry interwoven with profound spiritual lessons? To fully grasp this issue, we must remember that the flood narrative is embedded in a very specific context, an era when people understood the world through stories that conveyed profound teachings, moral values, and explanations for natural phenomena. However, the Bible is not the only ancient text to narrate a great deluge. Mesopotamian texts, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, also speak of a devastating flood that nearly destroyed humanity, but spared a chosen survivor to repopulate the earth. This raises a fascinating question. Could there have been a catastrophic event on a regional or global scale that gave rise to these narratives? Researchers from diverse fields, archaeology, geology, and paleontology, have been probing the Earth for clues about cataclysmic natural events that may have inspired these narratives. While there is no consensus on a global flood that simultaneously inundated all continents, evidence of colossal floods in specific areas is irrefutable. The Black Sea deluge theory provides a compelling example, suggesting that approximately 8,500 years ago, a dramatic rise in sea level inundated inhabited territories, fundamentally reshaping the region's landscape. For ancient peoples, such a disaster could have been perceived as a manifestation of the divine, an event that profoundly disrupted their lives and beliefs. This possibility opens the door to profound reflections. The account of the flood, which may initially appear hyperbolic, could have been a way of documenting a traumatic experience passed down through generations until it was transformed into sacred narrative. Thus, the story of Noah and the Ark would not simply be a literal description, but a symbolic record of how humanity perceived and reacted to a major natural disaster. Delving deeper into the scientific analysis, we uncovered numerous layers of discoveries that bolster the notion that profound climatic and environmental shifts characterized pivotal eras in Earth's history. Sedimentary layers unearthed across the globe revealed deposits of water indicative of sudden cataclysmic floods. Fossils of animals that should never have coexisted suggest dramatic displacements wrought by natural phenomena. Moreover, carbon dating studies indicate that some of these occurrences align with the time frame purportedly surrounding the biblical deluge. Despite this vast scientific arsenal, there remains a definitive lack of proof for a global event as described in the scriptures. This gives rise to an intense debate between scientists and theologians. Some believe that the Bible embellished its narrative to emphasize a powerful moral message, while others argue that science has simply not yet unearthed all the secrets of ancient history. What is clear, however, is that these stories of great floods, both in the Bible and in other cultures, carry profound lessons about the fragility of life, the importance of respecting creation, and the need for renewal. Noah, for instance, is depicted as a man who heard a difficult message but trusted and acted upon it, saving lives amidst destruction. It is a timeless message, speaking of hope, faith, and responsibility. If you've ever heard or studied about the flood, I invite you to reflect with me. What is the significance of this story for you today? How can it influence your perspective on life, faith, and our planet's well-being? If you feel inclined, share your thoughts or experiences related to this ancient narrative in the comments below. Your voice may inspire others watching this video. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, seize the opportunity to join this community that seeks knowledge, profound reflection, and faith. That way, you won't miss any of the transformative content we carefully prepare for you. Returning to the science, one of the most fascinating issues is the construction of the Ark. How could Noah have built a vessel capable of withstanding the overwhelming force of a colossal flood? The Bible's details about the Ark's size, which are truly impressive, measuring approximately 140 meters in length, 23 meters in width, and 14 meters in height, suggest a structure of extraordinary proportions for that era. Some modern engineers have studied these dimensions and concluded that, if constructed with the appropriate techniques and materials, the Ark could indeed have floated and endured severe storms. It is crucial to emphasize that the narrative does not delve into extensive technical details, but rather highlights Noah's obedience and faith in adhering to divine instructions. This implies that the story of the Ark carries profound spiritual significance alongside its literal interpretation. Concurrently, various archaeological discoveries, such as remnants of colossal ancient vessels in regions near the Dead Sea and Turkey, have given rise to hypotheses concerning potential historical roots of the Ark narrative. Another noteworthy aspect is the logistics of preserving thousands of animal species within a relatively confined space. Biology experts contend that, from a practical standpoint, transporting all types of animals on the planet would be impossible. Consequently, some modern interpretations posit that the Ark may have housed representatives of key animal groups from which the current biodiversity originated, or that the narrative functions more as a symbol of salvation for creation amidst crisis. Examining the history of the flood through the lens of diverse cultures reveals analogous narratives in Greek mythology, Hindu tradition, indigenous legends, and numerous other accounts scattered across the globe. This convergence suggests that some form of natural catastrophe may have engendered a collective memory, subsequently reshaped and adapted over time according to the cultural context of each civilization. Nevertheless, the biblical narrative stands out for its unique message of covenant, mercy, and hope. God promises Noah and his offspring that he will never again destroy the earth with a flood, and the rainbow becomes the symbol of this commitment. This message resonates to this day, offering comfort to millions, demonstrating that even in the face of devastation, there is a path toward redemption. From a historical perspective, archaeological studies conducted at ancient Mesopotamian sites have unearthed evidence of massive floods, corroborating the notion that these regions endured catastrophic inundations. This lends credence to the idea that biblical accounts may be grounded in actual events, albeit potentially localized, and that these narratives were transmitted and reinterpreted over time. Furthermore, scientific advancements in interconnected fields have shed light on the flood narrative. Recent paleoclimatological studies suggest that Earth has experienced extreme heating and cooling cycles, potentially leading to rapid shifts in ocean levels and climate, resulting in catastrophic floods. Analyses of subsea sediments point towards abrupt geological events that could be interpreted as inundation episodes in various regions. While science seeks physical evidence, religious archaeology and theology strive to comprehend the spiritual significance of these narratives. For many, The power of the flood story lies in its ability to connect humanity to nature, the divine, and the very history of humankind, demonstrating that even in the face of human fragility, there is always an opportunity for renewal. By recognizing that the Bible may encompass both symbolic and historical accounts, we open our minds to a more profound dialogue between faith and reason, science and spirituality. The Great Flood, therefore, is not merely an event of the past, but an invitation to reflect on the present and future of humanity. In conclusion, the discussion surrounding the Great Flood remains open, navigating between scientific truths, religious interpretations, and ancestral memories. The Bible offers a profound narrative laden with meaning that continues to inspire faith and hope, while science contributes discoveries that expand our understanding of the planet and its history. Regardless of one's stance on this debate, the core message of the flood story remains relevant. The imperative to acknowledge life's fragility, appreciate creation, and prepare for the inevitable challenges that arise, trusting in a power greater than ourselves. May we glean wisdom, respect, and hope from these ancient narratives, enabling us to live more meaningfully. If you've made it this far, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your time and attention. If this video resonated with you in any way, sparked questions, or offered fresh insights, I would be delighted to hear about it. Share your experience in the comments below. Were you familiar with this story, and what does it signify for you today? Let's cultivate a community of discourse, learning, and faith together. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, we warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here you'll discover enriching content that nourishes both mind and spirit. Your presence is invaluable as we continue this voyage of exploration and contemplation. Welcome aboard.